The house stood at the end of a dirt road, where tall maples leaned toward it as if trying to listen. It was built in the late 1800s, with white wooden boards and a wide front porch, the kind where evenings were meant for rocking chairs and quiet talk. Its windows faced the sunrise, and every morning, light poured inside as if expecting someone to wake. Once, a family lived there. Henry Whitmore built the house with his own hands after returning from the Spanish-American War. He wanted land, silence, and a future that felt steady. His wife, Eleanor, filled the rooms with warmth, curtains sewn by hand, bread cooling on the sill, laughter drifting down the hall. Their 2 children ran barefoot across the floor, leaving behind scuffed wood and echoes that refused to fade. On Sundays, the house smelled of coffee and pine soap. On winters, the fireplace spoke in soft cracks and pops, and snow piled against the door like a promise to stay inside together. Then, one autumn morning in 1919, the family packed a single car. Eleanor folded the curtains carefully. Henry locked the front door twice. They told the neighbors they would be gone only a little while, heading west for opportunity, for health, for something better. The children waved from the back seat. The car disappeared in a cloud of dust, and the house was left standing, quiet but hopeful. It waited. Days passed. The porch boards cooled without footsteps. Weeks passed. Mail gathered in the box, letters bending with rain. The house kept its windows clean, catching every sunrise, certain the family would return. Seasons changed. Winter came hard that year. Snow buried the steps, ice sealed the windows. Inside, the air stood still, but the rooms remembered. The dining table remembered elbows pressed close. The hallway remembered running feet. At night, the wind moved through the walls like a whisper calling names. Spring returned, gentle and green. Flowers bloomed wild near the fence. The house listened for a car engine. None came. Years followed one another quietly. The dirt road cracked. The paint peeled. The porch sagged. Yet every morning, the house faced the sun. Every night, it held its breath. People passed by sometimes. Travelers slowed their horses. Later, cars slowed their engines. Some said the place felt strange. Others said it felt sad. A few swore they saw lights in the windows at dusk, though no one lived there. In 1936, a storm tore part of the roof away. Rain soaked the upstairs rooms. Still, the house stood firm, as if strength alone might bring the family back. What no one knew was what had happened beyond that road. The Whitmores never reached the West. Their car broke down outside a small town. Illness followed. Then loss. Letters were written, but never delivered. Time, as it often does, closed the door gently but forever. The house never learned the truth. Decades passed. Children grew old in nearby towns. Wars came and went. Radios turned into televisions. Roads were paved, then forgotten again. The house aged quietly, holding on to memories like photographs pressed between pages. One evening in the early 1970s, a young couple stopped by the property. They walked through the tall grass and stood on the porch. The woman touched the door frame and felt something she couldn't name. "It feels like someone's waiting," she whispered. They didn't buy the house. No one ever did. Today, the roof has fallen in. Trees grow through the floor. Birds nest where beds once stood. Yet when the sun rises, it still shines through the front windows just right, lighting the empty rooms as if setting the table for breakfast. The house remains. Not abandoned, not forgotten, just waiting, faithful to a promise made long ago, holding space for footsteps that never returned, keeping love alive in silence.